Create and manage layers and groups. Create and manage layers and groups. How to create and manage layers and groups. Create layers and groups. A new layer, by the way, appears either above the selected layer or within the selected group in the layers panel. And how to create a new layer or groups. How to create a new layer or groups. We have many steps here now. Step number 1. Do one of the following. To create a new layer or group using default options, click the Create, then a new layer button or new group button in the Layers panel. Then choose Layer, then choose New, then choose Layer or choose Layer New Group. And you have to choose also new layer or new group from the layers panel menu. Then alt click if you use Windows or option click if you use Mac operating system. The create, by the way, the create a new layer button or new groups button in the layers panel to display the new layer dialog box and set layer options. And Ctrl-click if you use Windows and or Command click if you use Mac operating system. The create a new layer button or a new group button in the layers panel to add a layer below the currently selected layer, by the way. Number 2, set layer options and then click OK. Name specifies a name for the layer or group. And use previous layer to create clipping mask. This option, by the way, is not available for groups. And what about color? Color is meaning that assigns a color to the layer or group in the layers panel. What about the mode? Mode is meaning that mode specifies a blending mode for the layer or group. And what about opacity? Opacity is meaning that specifies an opacity level for the layer or group. So what about fill with mode natural color? It's meaning fills the layer with a preset and natural color. Note and be careful please here now. Note and be careful to add currently selected layers to a new group. Choose layer, then select group layers or shift click the new group button at the bottom of the layers panel. How to create a layer from an existing file. How to create a layer from an existing file. We have many steps again. Step number 1. Drag the file icon from Windows or Mac operating system onto an open image in Photoshop. Then number 2. Move scale or rotate the imported image. Number 3. Press enter or return. By default, Photoshop creates smart object layers, by the way, to create standard layers from dragged files. And select, place or drag raster images as smart objects in the general preferences. And if the placed file, by the way, is a multi-layer image, a flattened version appears on the new layer. To instead copy separate layers, duplicate them in another image. How to create a layer with effects from another layer. We have many steps again. Step number 1. Select the existing layer in the layers panel. Then number 2. Drag the layer to the create a new layer button at the bottom of the layers panel. And the newly created layer contains all the effects of the existing one. How to convert a selection into a new layer. We have many steps again. Step number 1. Make a selection. You should make a selection. Number 2. Do one of the following. Choose layer, then choose new, then choose layer via copy to copy the selection into a new layer. Then choose layer and then choose new. Then choose layer via cut to cut the selection and paste it into a new layer. Note and be careful again. You must rasterize smart objects or shape layers to enable these commands. And so how to view layers and groups within a group. How to view layers and groups within a group. Do one of the following to open the group, please. You should click the triangle to the left of the folder icon. Then right click if you use Windows or Control click if you use Mac operating system. And the triangle to the left of the folder icon. And choose open this group. And then alt click if you use Windows or option click if you use Mac OS. And the triangle to open or close a group and the groups nested within it. How to show or hide a layer and group or style. How to show or hide a layer and group or style. Showing or hide layers and groups or styles lets you, by the way, isolate or view only certain portions of your image for easy editing, and you should do one of the following in the layers panel. Click the eye icon and next to a layer group or layer effect to hide its content in the document window. Then click in the column again to redisplay the content. To view the eye icon for styles and effects, click the reveal effects in panel icon and choose show layers or hide layers from the layers menu, by the way. And then after that, alt click if you use Windows or option click if you use Mac operating system, and an eye icon, by the way, to display only the contents of that layer or group. And Photoshop remembers the visibility states of all layers before hiding them, and if you don't change the visibility of any other layers, alt clicking if you use Windows or option click if you use Mac operating system, and the same eye icon restores the original visibility setting, by the way. And drag through the eye column to change the visibility of multiple items in the layers panel. Note and be careful again, please. Note only visible layers are printed. How to copy and paste layers. You can now copy and paste layers in Photoshop inside a document and between documents, depending on your color management settings and the color profile associated with the file or imported data. And Photoshop may prompt you for directions to handle color information in the imported data. And note and be careful again. Any edit you make, by the way, to a copy pasted smart object layer doesn't update the original smart object layer, and vice versa. This is a known limitation, by the way, and as a workaround, and create linked smart object in Photoshop. And we need now to understand how to copy and paste again. How to copy and paste commands in Photoshop. Copy, you should to press edit, then choose copy or CMD Ctrl-C, and copies is the selected layers. And how to paste? If you would like to paste, you should to select edit, then paste or Ctrl-V, and pastes the copied layers into the chosen document in the center of the document, and pasting creates a duplicate layer, including all bitmap and vector masks and layer effects. And how to paste in place? You should to select edit, then select paste special, then select paste in place, or Ctrl Shift V, and paste the copied layers into the targeted document in a position relative to its position in the original document. For example, a layer containing content from the bottom right corner of a large document pastes into the new document in the bottom right corner. In all cases, Photoshop tries to keep at least some piece of the pasted layers visible in the destination document, and so that you can reposition it as desired. Note and be careful, please, here. If you copy a layer and then create a new document, you can make use of the clipboard option in the new document dialog box, and choosing this option, by the way, creates a new document the size of the layers you have copied, and you can then easily paste your copied layers into the new document again. And what about, and note, please, and be careful again, we have a note here now. Cut is great out when you have a layer or layer selected, and delete layers directly in the layers panel. Consideration for copy pasting layers containing passes. Copy behaviors. What about copy behaviors? By the way, if you copy a layer that contains passes and shape layer, but no passes are selected, then the layer is copied to the clipboard, and pasting creates a duplicate shape layer including all bitmap and vector masks and layer effects. And if you copy a layer that contains passes and shape layer, and the pass are selected on canvas, and the pass selected on canvas, then the path is copied to the clipboard. And if you copy a layer with a vector mask but the vector mask is not selected, and then all layer data is copied to the clipboard, and pasting creates a duplicate layer including all bitmap and vector masks and layer effects. And if you copy a layer with a vector mask and the vector mask is selected, then the path data is copied to the clipboard pasting and depends on the context. What about paste behaviors? Paste behaviors is meaning that if you paste a layer between documents with different resolutions, the pasted layer returns its pixel dimensions. By the way, this behavior can make the pasted portion appear out of proportion to the new image, and use the image size command to make the source and destination images the same resolution before copying and pasting, or use the free transform command to resize the pasted content. And if you select a layer that contains no passes, for example a bitmap layer, pasting the path data creates a new vector mask. And if you select a layer that contains passes, for example a chip layer, but no passes are selected actually, then pasting replaces the current chip in the layer. And if you select a chip layer and select the path, then pasting passes and the path data into the existing chip layer, combining it with the existing path. And if you select a layer with a vector mask, but the vector mask is not selected actually, then pasting path data replaces the vector mask path. And if you select a layer with a vector mask and the vector mask is selected, then pasting passes and the path data into the vector mask, combining it with the existing path. So what about copy merged? Copy merged is meaning that this command makes a merged copy of all the visible layers in the selected area. Thank you.